Hello! Today I'm going to show you how I set up my dream cycle theme tracker, and what I'm specifically using is a cyclical notebook, which is the undated notebook which has some tracking features, and I'll explain those in a minute. I'm using the Dream Cycle Tracker PDF that is printable and evergreen, so you can print as many of these as you want, and I'm using my Cycles journal for reference so that I can transfer the dates into these undated tools. So you can do this in any notebook, journal, but these tools I'm excited about because I specifically designed them for this. So to start, I'm gonna do the weekly, like one spread per week with my dreams. If you're someone who wants more space for your dreams, you could always do one spread per day, but I'm going to show you how I set up my week. So I'm going to divide this page into 7 so that there's space for 7 days. So that's every 4 lines. I'm going to make a dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's right. Yeah. And then I'm going to draw the line all the way across. So that creates my 7 rows for the 7 days of the week. Doesn't have to be perfect, but this just helps me like have a loose structure. And then I'm going to bring that all the way across to this side because there's 2 parts to the daily writing section, and I will explain that in a second. So I also like to just set it up ahead of time with the dates. So I'm starting, it's a few days after the new moon in Leo in August, and so I'm gonna show that the month here is starting in August, so I know, and it's gonna end in September because I can reference my Cycles journal for this. And then I'm just gonna write the same days of the month here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not going to do them all right now, but you can just go ahead and write the days of the month all the way across so that it's already correlated with the moon phases. It's easy to reference. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. So for this first week, I start on Monday, so it's August 5th through the 11th. And then I also am going to just go ahead and underline which moon phases this week exists under, because it just helps me like have that reference. I have more detail. I can put in my personal, I'm going to be in my, heading into my luteal phase for my inner cycle, and the inner season, the outer season is summer. And then I can add in the sun and moon signs, so I also just have more things to reference as I'm starting to track my dreams and I see themes potentially recurring. These will be helpful reference points and cross-reference points to my Cycles journal, which is more of my, biological hormonal tracker, and I do have little spaces for dream information there, but I found that it's not enough. I need more to interpret my dreams and go beyond the surface. So we are in Leo season, the sun's in Leo, and the moon is shifting between Leo to Scorpio during this time. So now I have all the little details there. I also just like to go ahead and in this margin I'm going to put the days of the week letters: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it just helps me. I put the number 2. You can skip any of this, but it really helps me to orient when I have all the details here. Okay, and then, so this is the side of the page where I'm going to be every day showing up, and I'm going to, first thing in the morning, write whatever detail I can remember from my dreams. Oh, this one was only 3 lines, but that's okay. And yeah, so this is where I'm just going to write it plainly, stream of conscious, and that's the first thing I'll do each day. And then I'll come over here and find the same day, so it's Monday the 5th, say, and then I'll add in my cycle day number if I have a menstrual or hormonal cycle I'm tracking, and then I'll just go down the column each day, similar to the Cycles journal, but here I'm tracking themes, settings, and moods that I experience in my subconscious dreams. And there's plenty of blank space for you to add in all the other themes or like just general symbolic topics that come up in your dreams, and you'll start to see the ones that recur. And so that's part 2. And then this side is for interpretation. So I'll have details here. I'll have my dream, more of the overview of the themes, settings, and moods here, which will create space for me to see the patterns over this moon cycle and beyond. And then over here, you can put whatever prompts you want at the top here, but how I like to interpret my dreams lately is I like to dive into the meaning, the lesson, and the integration, or how to integrate it. And so you could like put columns here, because I'm technically, what I do for this is I pull a card for each of these, a tarot card, because that's how I like to interpret, but you can also just reflect in your own way here or meditate on it, however you want to interpret, or if you just want to leave it and let it be loose interpretation, it's whatever you want. But this really helps me dive into it, and I found with this, first tracking the details, then tracking the overview, layers and themes, and then getting into the meaning and what's beneath the surface, I've really been able to find more understanding of what recurs when. And over time, I'll have over weeks and over this moon cycle and the next, I'll have a bigger database of what goes on in my subconscious, just like we're doing in Cycles Journal for my more physical, mental, also subconscious realm, but I do focus more on like the physical, emotional, habitual there. And so last thing I just wanted to show you is you can totally just have this loose on the side, but it was like bothering me, so I found a way to attach it, and so I'm going to flip that page over and flip this over just so I can tape it on the back side, because that creates the seam that we want. So I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to add some tape. You'll see what I mean once we finish this. So then I have this whole spread, and even though technically this week I only need this side, it folds in nicely so I can have my compact transportable notebook when I want, but I could fold this out when I need and to get to this page. And then what's cool is after this week, when I'll start the next week, and you could set this all up ahead of time, like per month or whatever, but I kind of go week by week just to make it easy, or that's just how I work. And so when you get to the next week, you'll also have this nearby, and then, after a few weeks, when this moon cycle ends, this will serve as a bookmark for when this moon cycle, this phase of tracking starts and ends, and you'll just tape in the next one. And I keep, when I printed out these, I just kept a bunch of them folded in the back here, so that when it's time for the next month, I don't have to go print it again. I can just grab that from there like I just did and set it up. It only takes 5 minutes or less, especially once you've done it a few times. And then, I have my little dream tracker station, which I keep. I keep it next to my altar because that's where I go first thing in the morning. I sit at my altar and meditate a little bit, and or just jump into dream interpretation first, or at least writing down the details before I forget. And so if there's a place you frequent in the morning, I recommend keeping it there. You can keep it closed, and it's been really helpful for me. So I'm excited to see how this helps you, and also curious if you set this up any different ways, because this is just what's worked for me after experimenting with a lot of different ways. And I'm excited to see how this deepens your subconscious self-awareness alongside this more conscious and sensory self-awareness. And of course, they can be used, you don't have to use Cycles Journal. That's just, I like to use these together, cross-reference, but you can use any planner, calendar, journal for cross-referencing, of course. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you. Take care. And just to note, as you go, as you experiment, if you find this is too crammed for you and you want more space, say you want a whole spread per day, because I've definitely been there when I can fill this whole page with my dream details, and this whole page I can do the meaning, lesson, and integration, interpretation. And you could just go day by day like that if you want, or half a page per day. And it really doesn't matter, because once you tape this here, there'll just be a few spreads if you do week by week, or there'll be a bunch if you do day by day, or 2 days per spread. So really up to you. It's flexible, and that's what's nice. You could always go into more detail after the fact. Here you could just save the next page for, I guess that's the plus side of just doing this week by week or day by day, is say you do need more space, you can use this for that instead of having it pre-designated. So just try it out, start here. You can expand if you need, and adjust and adapt as you will.